Okay, today we're going to make a boat or a ship out of a milk carton. Or any box that you want to make one out of. So I am excited about this because my kids love cardboard that then they cut up and they tape together. So I'm hoping you're gonna like it. And when you're done, your boat should even float. Are you ready? Maiden voyage in the sink. Maybe you have a kiddie pool, you could have it floating in. All right, so let me show you how to make a boat. All right, the first thing is you're going to need a milk carton. And I have two different sizes. If you go over to school every day to get your lunch and your breakfast, they give you two of these. Perfect. So even if you don't have this kind, go over to school and get lunch, and then you've got a bunch of art supplies. And that's the same thing I did. I got this little side boat. It's one of those juice containers that they give you for breakfast. So if you haven't been over to school, you don't have to sign up. You just show up from 11 to 1 and they'll give you breakfast and lunch, and it's for free. It's free. And if your brothers and sisters are in middle school and high school, they can get their lunch and breakfast at Bethel too. So go get some food if you need it, and get a milk carton if you need that. So the way that you're gonna start your boat for either boats would be to open it up. Okay. Now I'm doing it on a table because even when I wash it, I feel like they keep dripping out. All right, so let's think about a third. All right, this is half. This is like third, okay? So I'm just gonna cut around, and the good thing about going to school and getting a milk carton from school is that it's a little bit easier to cut through than like the ones maybe from your house. Okay. So now what you're gonna do, so this is the base of your boat. This part can be like a little compartment, so it's not quite so deep. All right. So to attach this, you have a couple choices. You can use staples, which is super easy. Not everybody has a stapler, right? You can use duct tape or any kind of tape. Regular white tape will work too. Or if you have a parent that's gonna be working with you anyway and you have a glue gun, you can go really fast with a glue gun. And that's what I did mine with because I was doing mine independent. All right, so another thing is to make your mast. You can make your mast, that's a mast, out of anything you want. But I have some things, I've got these skewers. You could do chopsticks, or you could do a straw. So for this one, I'm going to do a straw. So to do that, you can either take a pencil and stab it through this, or you can use a hole punch, although that hole punch won't go all the way in there. You could use a hole punch and you could punch it. Stabbing it. All right, stab it through. That'll make it easier for when you do your straw, okay? So now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to place this inside of here. Get it all lined up. Hold on. Gotta get it all folded right. Okay, I think a staple is the fastest way if you're not doing glue gun. And you know it's watertight for our little boat. It's gonna be like a little dinghy, like a little boat on the side, or a John boat. All right. I mean, we're pretty much, oh, that guy didn't go all through all of them. Okay. So now I'm gonna do a straw. So you can just stick that down in where you put your pencil jab. Now, if you think that's the right height, great. If you think it should be shorter, voila. All right, let's talk about sails. Now, some of you might have done earlier projects and you might have bubble paper or marbled paper. You might have brown paper. This, I think, is really fancy. This is a box of tea, but on the inside, the more art you make, I feel like the more you look at things and you think, Ooh, that's cool. I should make that into something. When I was putting this in the recycle bin, I noticed this cool pattern. So I'm gonna do my sail out of this because it is already spectacular. All right, so I'm gonna cut this. Okay, to make my little sail. I mean, that's fancy. Fancy, fancy, fancy. All right, now to get this to go on there, you could, if you don't have a hole punch, you could cut a little hole and or stab it with a pencil. All right, now one person on the internet did this with a toilet paper roll because then it's already rolled up to kind of look like the wind is in the sail. And then you just slide this down on here. Come on, little straw. You can think of it as being good because it's got like a tight fit, so it won't blow away. All right. I mean, you could stop there. That's a cute little boat. Let's see how it does. I mean, you could definitely stop there and have a pretty great little boat. You could put this in the gutter. One thing my kids love to do is when it rains, they don't do this much anymore, but when they were younger, we had these little plastic boats that were for the pool, and the water on the sides of the roads and those kind of like ditches would fill up and they would send their boats down it. This would be perfect for that. All right, another thing that comes with your school lunch, yesterday when we went to go get lunch, this had green beans in it. And the green beans at school are not great. They need salt. But since you're taking the food back to your house, I put some salt on it and they were spectacular. And then this one was for syrup. So I feel like this would be a really cute little crow's nest, right? I used this green bean holder for my bigger boat. Now I haven't tried to stab through this yet. I wonder how it's gonna go. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it. I may have to glue it on. No, I can do it. Where there's a will, there's a way. And I really want a syrup crow's nest on my milk carton boat. All right, I did like a triangle, not a triangle cut, like an X cut. All right, now look at that. Oh, now my sailor could go on there. I might need to cut a little bit different. Anyway, you'll just have to tweak it and make it how you want. It's pushing a little bit hard on this one, so I'm gonna get it. A little bit of glue could help make it stand up straight too. All right, I need to keep working on this, but you guys get the idea, right? So that is cute for your little guy. And I was thinking if you have Lego men or like any sort of like G.I. Joe or like any of those things, they could be in your boat. All right, I'm just going to, also on this boat, what I did is I added some paper windows. I did one of those syrup things from my school lunch. I did that for a little seat. I had some macrame string, but you could use yarn to decorate. This was that milk thing to have like a little side one. And if you have paint, so I painted my box with this acrylic paint that's super old, but it is still worked. That will keep it still watertight. And if you bought acrylic paint for last week's project, you already have some. And it could be any color. This one I just covered with brown paper that came in a packing box, or you could use, you know, the grocery store when they have those brown bags, or maybe if you guys are ordering food out, there could be some brown bags and you could wrap your boat in that too, although it does get wet. All right, so let me just put these in here so we can see how cute. Oh, my mast is falling over. My crow's nest, I gotta take my crow's nest off until I do it better. But that looks pretty cute. I'm gonna let those float for one more. I just wanna show you one more thing. In case you're doing this kind and you're feeling like this is gonna be too hard to cut, I just wanna show you how you do the exact same thing. All right, so you're gonna open this up, which is funny because this is the exact kind of opening that you guys have on your school lunch milk, but you never think of this kind of box as being that kind of box, I don't think. All right, look at me. I'm destroying it just like you kids when you raise your hand and say, teacher, I can't get my milk open. There's always one kid that's like, I can do it, let me have it. All right, so from here, I would open up both sides. You would just cut the exact same 1/3 of. You just cut that off and then you flip it upside down. It's the exact same method, okay? So go make a boat, have it float down the gutter if you have a creek in your yard, whatever you have. And don't forget to go get food at school if you need it. It's there Monday through Friday. You get breakfast and lunch. You get some cool stuff to make things out of. So I hope you go get some food and you make a cool boat.